Yeah, so break it down, brother. Tell me what's going on. Tell me how it all began and how you got into Audience Lab anyway, and what inspired you to continue to grow because it's kind of a big deal what's going on.
Yeah, it is. It is. I mean, I started kind of getting into sales and marketing in that world, pretty much in while I was still in high school, definitely. I can't remember the exact time, but as most kids, at that age, you're trying to figure out kind of what you want to do with your life. And that's it's one of those things that kind of hits you at a certain day that you never thought of before. It's like, wait, in a couple of years from now, I'm not going to have school anymore. And I'm going to have to figure out what it is that I want to actually dedicate my time to. And for, I'd say most kids, they've never really had that before. It's always been I'm told to get up, when I'm supposed to get up, to go to school, to learn this and learn that. And so having to decide a lot of that for myself, just kind of led me to YouTube, and I over the course of years just learned and learned and learned about a lot of different things. Um, I truly can't remember, and I've tried where I first heard or decided that I wanted to like get into like the sales and marketing and business world. I truly can't. It just kind of happened one day. But it was right around that time. And so, I took the path that a lot of people, probably my age, take, and, you do your research, buy some courses. And I've had the experience of, it not working out the way that it was supposed to, of not understanding quite what something was. And I think that kind of hindered some opportunities. I made some friends, and so that's the real cool thing. I still have some friends from those days of, people trying to do what I've done, and so I learned a lot by trial and error. And I always had the courage to do this. I'll say this: it's kind of funny. When I was 16, 17, around that age, I won a contest, and I didn't even apply. It just happened. Here's a YouTuber who was starting up a new YouTube channel or something like that, and he was giving away $5,000 for like some type of contest or whatever. And all that you had to do was just be one of the first people to comment on one of his videos. I did that, and I won the $5,000. It was super cool. Like it was almost like it was crazy. Probably one of the craziest things that's ever happened. But I spent most of that money on just education when it came to business, when it came to learning a little bit of sales, a little bit of marketing, not like some like the really, really good stuff that I know now, but it was enough to kind of get my feet wet, to kind of be that basic entry level understanding of how business worked. And so I did that. It was super cool. I look back on it, and it just makes me smile every time I look back on it. But
You know what's
um,
making me smile right now?
what's that?
How old are you?
I'm 21 now. Or no, I'm 20.
Jesus
Yeah, I'm 20.
Christ, man. You understand the kind of crazy experience you have for being 21? Are you kidding me right now?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. 21's 4 months from now, January. And I get that mixed
You're
up for whatever
20.
reason, but I do. Yeah,
You're 20.
yeah.
Dude, this is so significant. I gotta put an age on this. We have a 30-year gap between me and you. I had
Yeah, we
no
do.
idea what even was, and you're rocking that. You know exactly what it is and what it means. And we
Yeah,
didn't have YouTube when I was coming through, man. It was just coming, it wasn't even a thing. And now
yeah,
people can just get more information just on YouTube. Then it's just insane, this whole conversation. That's why my mind gets blown as well, because I mean, dude, your generation's like leading the way. Everybody's generation's leading, but something about Gen Z is just hitting different. And I think what it really is that you're like the first full generation on the planet that's fully immersed in technology.
mm,
That's the biggest thing. And it's just like you said before, you want the real deal. Like you want the real stuff. And
yeah,
everybody that who's in your bracket, because one of my daughters is also Gen Z, so I get it. And she's doing big things too, man. Gen Z's coming through a big, big way. So how does that tie in, though, that mindset with Audience Lab? Because you're in a pretty critical position.
yeah. I would say that combination that you just mentioned, my demographic, age range, and then also my background. Like I said, mom and dad, they really instilled a lot of good principles in me in terms of hard work. I am an only child, right? And so I got there was no lack of attention whenever it came to, hey, you're a Parker, your last name means this is what you need to do. And so I don't know. I know that different kids, they have different relationships with their parents, but I always kind of rock with the message, and I wear that on my back, that the legacy, that last name. And so um all of those different principles I've taken whenever it came to Audience Lab. And I've just mentioned Jesse whenever he put me on out on the front lines. I'm a bit of an overthinker, and so I think that says a lot that I got my first sale in my first call and had no idea what we were actually doing. And so it was an amazing experience. I can't tell you how happy I was when that happened. And then even after that, the level of mentorship, this isn't just a job. It's become, it really has, like, you guys are family. I look at you all that way. And so that level of just loyalty, of just pouring into me, like, I want to, that's just how I am. I give back if it's given to me. I'm very reciprocal in that way. And so we've built definitely a strong culture here, but we're also doing like some crazy big things that I've never seen like anywhere else. Like, even still, I mean, like, I understand things a whole lot better in terms of marketing, sales, even data. And I'm like, man, I can't find this on YouTube. I can't find this on the internet. And if there's a touch of it, it's so raw. I'm like, man, like, people truly don't know. They have no idea what it is that we're working on and what it is that we're building towards. And this is really something that we truly can use to change some lives and to make people better, make people um stronger, changing the future in the way that advertising, really messaging, communication works. And you just mentioned today we had that call about getting in front of your audience, getting in front of the right people, and how important that is. And um, I laughed when you said that, because I just had a call with a client about a week ago, and she was saying, like, um, not that good at ads, not that good at that stuff, but the stuff's working with just the targeting, just talking to the right people.
Yeah.
It makes a world of difference. And so we really are changing some lives here. I know that in my core now. And so I'm excited. Hopefully you can hear the passion kind of coming out.
Oh yeah,
I
yeah.
love
You
it.
do a lot more smiling now these days.
Yeah, I am. Used to be stone cold.
Yeah, yeah. Well, the thing about it is you still can be a stone cold killer when it comes to this data slinging,
There you go.
because you're out here in these streets making sure that people get it right. So that's
Yeah, yeah,
reasons why I'm glad that we had a chance to really like rock on a really hard level, because the thing about it is client success is not an easy journey for anybody. It takes a lot of wrench turning, it takes a lot of faith in the product, it takes a lot of people willing to listen to understand, not listen to respond. That's a big thing as well. And a lot of people that we're talking to, as you know, not only are they grown, but they also, like, not all of them have it all figured out, but enough of them come over here with a chip on their shoulder. And it's like, that's not the way that this game is played. So the people who do the best on this platform are the ones who actually listen to understand. And we have clients who, again, it ain't going to be perfect, but at the end of the day, if they can go back to what they understood that really worked before and how they can tie it into what we're doing, then usually those are the ones who get the success out the gate. You find it
yeah.
still to be true? Because you've taken over
Yes,
the
sir.
chair since I've left out.
Yes, sir. Yeah. Actually, yeah, I use that question, all the time. What's working, what's not working in your business? Because, like you said, that does make a huge difference in even just entry level, how somebody comes in. You know, you mentioned this before, I think, on a call that we had. I get it, man. I get it. I've been scammed out of thousands of dollars, really, and I truly do mean that. Meaning, like, I got nothing in return. I got no course. I got no communication. Like, oh, okay, this is how it is. And so I get that there's a lot of people that have had similar experiences, if even worse. And so sometimes you can kind of come in, a bit. I'm going to say the word jaded. However, we really are here to help people. You know what I mean? And we've built things out in a way to where and we're getting better every single day, um, to where we're really trying to impact the people who come in here and really change their lives. And it's just something that you told me before, being real and authentic from day one. From day one, we're never going to, pull the wool over your eyes or hide something back from the curtain. That's why I like our DAS program, is because, like, that's everything you need. everything,
Yeah.
everything you need in order to kind of be successful. And so I think it's just that level of being true to who you are, what's going on, how can we help you, and then let's just collaborate together. Because I mean, we like family too. You know, I just mentioned that, and so if we pour into somebody, we don't expect it, but it's always nice to be poured back into. And if we can rock together for the next 20 years, why not?
Yeah, I mean you're right, and I do, just for the record, consider you very much family. I talk about you all the time, and even to Regina, because it's true. Like the way that we have this structured is, it's really about not just a true collaboration, but also that true family feel. Because at the end of the day, what we're looking to really do is build like people up. That's how you're supposed
Yeah,
to build a community. You're supposed to build a community by really pouring into people. And you have different structures of, like, I don't do this but you do this. Okay, great, I'll refer that person over to you. This person over here, that person over here. Okay, I'll refer that person over to you. And it still shocks me, like, even with our earlier call, you're just like, this isn't normal. I'm just
no,
like, why not? It's just like, this is, it's part of my military background, but it's also part of my family background. I'm first generation northerner. All my family was from down south, the Alabama area, so I get it. And
Mhm.
Mississippi. So it's just, I'm first generation northerner. I'm out in California now, but it's just like, I've always wanted to have that culture where we really do take care of each other. And that was the thing with me and Ray. That's how we first connected. And then I met Adam, then I met Jesse. And but that's really how we started out, because same thing with Ray. I'm like, Ray, we working together. Like, this is not that thing. Like, I'm here to make sure that I got your back because I know that you would have mine. And then the rest is history after that. And lo and
Yeah,
behold, we're growing a company together. And to your point, yeah, the money's good. It's up there with oxygen. It's necessary and important, just like anything else in life. The reality of it is, though, people make the money. People
yeah,
make the business. So we keep, and that's what I saw. That was a counter. We're actually like a counterculture just by doing the right thing. Like, that's
yeah,
weird. It's like, imagine
yeah,
that. We're the counterculture from helping people out.
yep, yep.
Or am I crazy for thinking that way?
No, 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 you're right. You remember what we were just talking about is being weird, being different, and getting used to that. I had to learn that, and it's something that once it clicked, I'm like, okay, I'm cool. You know, I don't have to act a certain way or be a certain way or try to model myself in the way that somebody else would. It's like I can just be me, and who me is good. I like helping people, and I mean, the shirt off my back, that's no question, you know. And so I've always kind of gone through the world with that mentality. If somebody's in need, then it's my responsibility to help them, and that goes double for the people that I care about, you know. And
Yeah.
so it's real. That's what we got here, which is I'm forever blessed to have that here. I couldn't have done this on my own. So.
Wow. Let me ask you another. I guess I'd have to ask you a weird question, because you've talked to enough onboarding clients now. What do you
Mhm.
think the hardest thing for them to acclimate is to? Because when I was doing it, as an example, people couldn't believe that this actually worked.
Yep. Yep.
They're like, is this real? Is this even real? Is this a real thing? So are
Mhm.
we still in our echo chamber because we know that it works and we're confident, and they're still struggling? Or what does that look like in your world? I'm curious to know.
I think it is a level of understanding, and I'll say that because even explaining to mom and dad kind of what it is that I do, they're like, wait, what? It's like, you know, and so you got to go back. It's like, okay, this is what it is. Oh, now it makes sense. So this is so new, it's so novel, it's so foreign to a lot of people that the only thing that I think they can kind of go back to is what they've known before. And so whenever you fall back on that, sometimes you fall back in those old patterns of thinking is like, okay, this is just like this. And it's not, it's different, it's new. Um, and we're new along with that, you know. That's why I kind of go back to my track record, y'all's track record is like, hey, we have done this before. Just what you mentioned today. And so I would say the biggest kind of gap in how clients come in and, you know, onboarding and what you mentioned is having to relearn or to learn a new way, to experience something that they haven't experienced before, and just be open to that. Just be open to that change.
Mm. That's a bar right there.
Yeah, yeah. Hey, when you're flowing, you're flowing.
Yeah, when you're flowing, you going. You know what I'm saying? That's
Yeah,
why I'm super thankful that you're a key part of the squad, and that's how we look at it together. I'm accessible, Adam's accessible, Jesse, Ray. We just do whatever because we jump in because, like you said, we're still turning wrenches. It doesn't matter, and then people
yeah.
go, "Well, you're kind of like a new company." It's like, yeah, but we're like over 50 deep, and
Right.
we're not like anything you've ever seen before. And people do
Yeah.
they want to identify, which is cool. I guess I was also ask you too, because you're talking to a lot of high level business owners, executives, ad agencies, lead
Hmm.
gen companies, major brands, right? What's the
Hmm.
one common stumbling block that they need to just get over in order to have wild success here?
Ooh. So the one common stumbling block that I would say that they have to get over is um, it's kind of similar to what I mentioned before, but it is a little bit different. The adherence to the old way of doing something. You know what I mean? And then understanding, and by that I mean more so less of the tech and more of the actual people, more of us, is that communication, that realness, the authenticity. Is when you're not used to that and you haven't had that, it hits you different. And when we show that a lot more, and when we really believe in ourselves, it comes out and it shines through. And people want to hit you. People want to be friends. I mean, like I can't tell you how many times that's happened on calls. Like, hey, can I get your phone numbers? You know what I mean? So it's they want to connect and they want to be real because we are real. It's like, there's people in here that I could see very well not only having wild success with audience that, but just being with us for the next 10 to 20 years, like very well. And not just like audience lab, but like us as who works here because of who we are. And so I would say that's probably like the one stumbling block to kind of get over, is being used to people outside of our ecosystem. That
You're
answers the question.
killing it. No, that's 100% spot on, bro, because that's what I teach people. It's like your business card can change, but people
Hmm.
invest in you. That's what it
Yep.
really boils down to at the end of the day. And this is one of many things. And again, we're recording, so we're not going to give the ultimate surprise.
Yeah, yeah.
We're
Of course
just
not.
like, who, what, when, where, why? I have so many questions. We're like, yeah, we're just getting started. It's just one of those things
Yeah,
where we're just really getting after it, man. But yeah, you're seeing some emerging growth as a result of what we're talking about. So what do
yeah.
you have to say to what we have planned that's just so big and people really don't understand? They're like you've already
I don't
watched,
think I can understand it. Not
huh?
fully. I don't think I can understand it. Not fully. It's just it's crazy. But go ahead. Sorry.
No, no, this is your show, bro. I'm just working to get the best of what you're seeing, the worst of what you're seeing, and everything in between because we're real. And I think people need to understand that. Like
Yeah,
that's what really makes this company run is the fact that we're real. Like, because
yeah,
that was my problem. And then I'll shut up. Like when I was coming off the road, dealing with all of these high level big brands. I'm just like, I don't understand who you're talking to. Like, I'm like, you can't just sit here and scam me out of like 10 racks and I'm just not going to do anything about it. I'm like, I'm not
yeah,
that guy. Like, I will figure things out. And I think it's safe to say that we've done that collectively as a team.
yeah. Definitely.
We want to make sure that everybody gets exactly what they came in for, but also realistic expectations. I think a lot of people have to understand on this platform because like I said, I was in your shoes and now I've trained you and you got people coming up under you. So when I was in your shoes, and we're all still in the shoes, just for the record, like we're all client success. So what I'm saying here though is just that people have to understand that there's a skill in getting out of their own way. Period.
Hmm. Yeah.
When you develop that skill of getting out of your own way, then you can see exactly what the real offer here is. It is called Audience Lab. What are we doing? We're helping you build highly targeted in market custom audiences.
Hmm.
But the tech is just a way of getting there. You still have to talk to humans. You still
Yeah.
have to be a human being at the end of the day behind that ad that you're running. And a lot of people
Hmm.
don't get that. Like they totally lose the perspective and then they talk to us like we're pond scum. It's like, wait.
Yeah. Yeah.
Our platform, what?
Hmm.
And
Yep.
then they wind up leaving out with no results or little to none. And that's through no fault of our own. It's legit like turn the wrench this way. Step two, go over here, turn the wrench this way. Step three,
Hmm.
turn the wrench, and our DOS data as a service clients get that. Like they get that concierge service. But for the most part, like because Regina took a call the other day and the girl who was on the line, she runs an agency. She's just like, well, I thought that this was like a data company. And she's like, it is a data company, but it doesn't matter if we have the top tier data if you don't use it right or you don't listen to us. That's the reasons
Yep.
why we have this call. I mean, we could
Yep.
we could bring everybody on this platform and say, sure, we got the data, come on in, and we would have so many chargebacks. It'd be crazy because people don't understand like that, like there are people behind this data. Like it's not
Yeah.
just all the stuff that we have because we have millions of fields, millions of we have so much data, bro. Like Adam's like I said this time last year, we broke Google Sheets, and Adam it was like, yo, man, it's just gonna cost us, it'll take us 100 years to upload this data. I'm just like, what just happened here? like,
Yeah, I can imagine that
like
day.
what are we even talking
Would you have
about?
days? Right,
Yeah,
right.
he's so matter of fact and nonchalant about it. I'm just like, wait, what just happened here? And he's like,
Yeah,
yeah. I'm like, oh wow. So it's just the orders of magnitude to wrap your mind around the fact that you have an organization that not only has that kind of data, but cares. We also make sure that again, like the it's up to the clients to use it compliantly. Like we have our own legal team. I tell them to get their own legal team, make sure that you're doing things the right way. But we're in circles where that trust is already there.
yep,
That's the secret sauce. The secret sauce is the trust that's already there from our sources, from people who we talk to, from people who are like making moves. And when they make moves, it makes news. And that's what I'm used to. I'm used to that. That's the crazy thing about this conversation. Like I've been used to that since like 1996 when I first got to the Marine Corps. That's how used to it I am. So
yeah.
my perspective is a lot different. That's why I'm super thankful that I'm talking to you, man. Like you don't understand. Like I want everything that we do and we say to go viral because it's just like who speaks like this?
Right, right.
I
It's
mean,
true.
like
Nobody.
legit, who speaks like we need to be live in the group and talking like this is real stuff and inviting people to come through and understand the magnitude of what we're saying. It is huge. And the
Hmm.
thing about it is there's so much noise in the marketplace that people don't even think that this exists. It's like that's I what next? It's just like
Yeah,
because
yeah,
we have clients on board that gotta go, I just I just downloaded my audience just like that. I'm like, yeah. And just so you know, that's still not enough because the max that you can do on Facebook is 1 million. They're like, what?
yep.
Yeah, it's kind of like that. Our
Hmm.
world's
Yep,
different. So,
yep.
so and the way that you steward, and I've watched the way that you move, bro. I love the way that you move with the clients. It's totally awesome. I wanted to thank you publicly as well as
Sure.
professionally and just say, hey man, you're like the real deal, and I respect that.
I
You've
appreciate
been
it.
yeah, you've been just making the moves. And that's all that we can ask is that you just make the moves, brother. So
Yeah.
job well
Hey,
done, man.
I made you a promise the first time that we spoke. I don't know if you remember, as that I'd be coachable.
Yeah.
And I meant that. I meant that. It's pretty easy because again, that's just how I am. I'm just naturally kind of that way. But you kind of answered your own question, but I'll tack in something there on the end is that how big this really is that this is one of the very, very few things that I think is going to be on the planet that's actually going to make good people succeed at the highest levels. Because that's really what you mentioned is whenever you write and you package things a certain way, but there's no heart behind it, you don't care, it shows. It shows. I don't know how it shows, but it gets in there. And whenever it comes to whether it's your copy or just your speech or just who you are, if you're not letting people know that you care, and if your heart's not right, it's going to show up, and you're not going to get the success that you want. But for those good people, man, this is it. This is
All right.
home.
All right.
Call it
I can't steal this, as a
that.
As a John Maxwell, founding partner, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. So that's what
Yeah.
John says. And I know you follow John as well. Shout out to the squad. I'll be back there soon. Been forever.
Yes, sir.
It's literally been about like, wow, it's been about 7 years, man. It's been a good minute since I've actually rocked in that squad. So, but just want to say
Yeah.
thank you so much for what you do, man, and really appreciate everything and keep crushing it. And I will see you on the next call.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you as well. See you on the next call.
Yes, sir. Chat soon.
All right. Peace.
Peace.